Well, good morning, beautiful souls. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having an amazing day. Okay, my thought for today, or my statement for today, is about judgment. We all do it. I do it. But what's the difference between a lot of people and people like us? Let's just throw that out there. Okay, judgment. Is that an emotional response? Now think about that statement. Is it actually your emotion from an experience creating that judgment? It's a good question, I think. And it's something to actually think about. Now, I make judgment all the time, but I also pull myself back in and think, okay, what am I missing? Because I'm basing that on some sort of knowledge or experience to create that judgment, as opposed to stepping back and just looking at it for what it is and formulating an opinion from the here and now. So if you're creating that judgment based on emotion, which is the remnants of a past experience, there is gaps in that, because that situation isn't exactly what you've experienced before to create that judgment. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, let's see. I do make a lot of judgments, but some of them, I'd say more than half, are based on an emotional experience that I've had in the past. And taking those, I also try to pull myself back in and say, okay, why did I just make that judgment? What's different about this experience? What is it that I don't know that's actually going on in this situation that could change that judgment or that opinion? So it all comes back to living in the here and now and actually looking at what's going on. Now, I look out there in the world and I go, oh shit. We're in for it. But where am I basing that information on? Where am I basing that emotion on? Where am I basing that judgment on? I do have life experience. I do have a whole lot of life experience, pushing 60. So that's got to say something. I have lived. But I've also lived the majority of my life with my eyes open, looking around, not seeing what's right in front of me, but taking the blinders off and getting like a panoramic view, trying to see what's actually going on with that person. Like if I was to step back out of the situation and watch it transpire, what's going on? Is there more to it than that? Now, I do tend to ask sometimes, depending who the person is, what else is going on? What more happened? Out of the conversation, to try and be diplomatic, to pull a bit more information out so I can get a clearer picture of what's actually going on. But I find the judgment is made, even though I'm doing that, if I cannot get the whole situation or the whole picture. Then I have to base it on past experience, what I've learned in the moment to create that judgment. So I know my ramblings, but it was just a thought. And I know, first impressions, that's another one. It's also based on something. It's based on experience. It's based on emotion. And I never judge a person by first impression. There's other things that are added into the situation. Like one, my intuition. Now, if my intuition about this person says run, possibly going to do that. Back away. Send your love, bye. But if if the person's disheveled and things like that, they're still a person. They still got a soul in there. And that's the soul I'm trying to find. Now, if that soul is an ugly soul, there's nothing I can do about it. But what you're not going to do is transpose that ugliness on me. So that it would be not my first impression, I guess my second impression. You can't change people or change people's opinions unless they're open-minded or they want change. Because some people very much enjoy the drama and the knee-jerk reactions and, my first impression, my judgment, everything is right, yours is wrong. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. You need to park the ego and go, okay, let's get more information. Let's find out if there's anything else to this story. Let's dig a little bit deeper, if you can. If you can. Okay, my lovelies. Just jumping on here because that's been in my mind about judgment. And I thought I better get it out there while it's kicking around. So on that note, you know what I'm going to say? Just be kind. Be love.